That's right. This is Unprotected Sax. I take your requests and play them in front of a green screen. This suggestion comes from at Jimbo in the Booth on Twitter. He wants me to do some wrestling theme songs. How about the Hulk Hogan theme song? How about that one? Let's do that.
Welcome back to Turtle Talk with your one and only pal, Will Forte. This is the only show dedicated to exclusively talking about one of the best animals in the whole wide world, one of my favorites, the turtle. This first turtle is a box turtle. Oh my god, so cute. You probably had one as a kid. I know I did. Wow, look at this woods turtle. You can find this turtle in the woods. Now this is a sea turtle, and you can probably guess where you can find this thing. In the friggin' ocean. Oh no, it's a snapping turtle. Hi, tortoise. Soft shell, red-haired slider, mud. Painted turtles. They got paint on them. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So many freaking turtles. Freshwater? Oh my gosh, we're freaking out of time. I hope you learned as much as I did today. A lot of turtles out there. I'm Will Forte, and this has been Turtle Talk.
Very excited to have with me on the podcast today Patrick Casey and Josh Miller, writers of the hit movie Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yay, Sonic the Hedgehog. What's up, Jeremiah? Good to be here.
Good to have you guys here.
The voice of Josh.
The voice of Josh and the voice of Pat.
This is the voice of Pat.
Is it possible for me to see them both at the same time? Just so I can... I want to enjoy both your beautiful faces. There you are. There you are. Coming in hot with the professional mic setup. I appreciate you guys doing that. Jeremiah Wonders is sponsored by some mic companies. We sent those mics to Josh and Pat. Get them all
They work great.
They work great. Pat had to
quality products.
Stuff.
I approve. Yeah.
Pat, you're looking like a fighter pilot today. I appreciate it. It's a strong look. The mic on mic technology that you're rocking.
So we can get stereo going.
I can sing harmony with myself with these two mics. That's what it's for.
That's awesome. How are you guys holding up with everything right now? Because I was talking with Josh a little bit before you joined, Pat, and he said that really, as a screenplay writer, not too much is different with you guys writing like the way that you guys are.
Yeah, I mean, we're not together. It's basically what we'd be doing anyway.
The big difference is that normally at the end of a long day of writing, one might leave one's house and go do something, but now we can't. Just write, and then watch a movie at night and go to bed every day.
Yeah, I find myself watching way more. I mean, I think everybody's watching way more movies and TV show. Like I think I'm gonna finish The Sopranos finally by the end of this.
Hey,
yeah,
that's pretty exciting. This is your first time with The Sopranos?
Yeah, I'm on episode 5 right now, and it's getting good. Yeah, it's pretty solid.
Episode 5 of season 1 or episode 5 of the final season? Season 1. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So much ahead of you.
I got a lot of good TV ahead of me.
Some bad things happen. Spoiler alert.
Wait, what? I thought this was a feel-good show.
Yeah, it's about a choir, right?
Yeah, something like that. Now I've known you guys for probably at this point, 9-10 years almost, like somewhere around there.
Yeah, you were just a baby when we met.
Yeah.
You had just
hold
moved
you
to
in our
town.
arms.
I know it's and you guys were very nice to me and very very inclusive with me along your entire journey, which I'm always grateful for and appreciative of, because you guys have written many other screenplays over the years, and your original screenplay that you sold to me is such the classic Hollywood story about. Can you like briefly like gloss over that? Like, I know you've probably told this story 1,000 times, but I just love it so much. Like the way that it went down at it was like a blockbuster.
You're talking about our dorm days.
Yeah, the video rental.
Yeah.
Right.
It's funny. This is a story that we used to tell a lot. We haven't actually told the story to anyone in years because no one cares anymore. So we'll tell it.
I love this story.
Yeah, when we first moved out here, we were roommates, and Josh worked at a sandwich shop and I worked at a video store. So we had all the sandwiches and videos we needed to survive. And
all of life's
Hollywood
requirements at that point.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they had soup as well.
When you're a young up-and-comer, you just need the bare necessities to move on. You're like, okay, I got the food, I got the creative stuff. Okay, we're good.
And yeah, I worked at the Hollywood Video in Sherman Oaks, and I figured that a lot of the people coming into the store were probably industry people. Like occasionally someone famous would come in, like Jon Voight or Amy Smart, who blew me away with how attractive she was in real life. Jon Voight did not blow me away with his attractiveness.
Jon Voight was a beautiful man.
He was a beautiful man in the 60s.
Yeah. Yeah. But I figured I would schmooze with people who came in and maybe I could make some industry contacts. And one day a guy told me, it turned out to be Scott Hillenbrand, that he like recommended I check out his new movie, which I'm trying to remember which one was the new one at that time. But he was like, he had made King Cobra. And I was like, oh my God, King Cobra with Pat Morita. I know that movie. I'm a screenwriter, by the way. And so he was like, oh, great. Send over your 2 best scripts to my office. And I called Josh from Hollywood Video. He's like, he wants 2 scripts. And we had one.
I think we literally only had 2. Well, you also left out he was renting a bunch of zombie movies. So you were like, oh, that's how we wrote a zombie movie.
Like, you must be making a zombie movie, right? And he was like, yeah, because based on the ones he was renting, which were the absolute basics, it was like Night of the Living Dead, Return of the Living Dead, and I forget what else, but it was like all the first ones you'd rent. And
by the way, you had to have come off very likable, because on paper, this sounds like the most intrusive guy working at a video store. Like, you must be making a zombie movie. I mean, I know zombie movies, you know?
Yeah, that's true. I feel like it was like the first time I'd ever really come on that strong. But yeah, I called Josh and we had like a zombie script we felt great about called Janitors Don't Die. But he asked for 2. So I was like, how about that dumb college comedy we wrote and figured was bad? And it was like, I don't know. Well, all right. So Josh drove those over to the office and dropped them off. And then they called us back almost immediately. Be like,
by the way, also lets you know how long ago this was that I drove over their physical printed out scripts. Yeah.
Don't let anyone know how old we are, Josh. You're blowing our cover.
And back then, scripts weighed 200 pounds.
Now, we're still very young.
Something I left out about the video rental store is they were film reels. I handed him a stack of them.
And you needed a horse to make them work.
But yeah, they called us back when we're like halfway through a college sex comedy, it was called at the time. That was the title. And be like, we love it. We want to buy it. And we were like, you don't want to finish it first? And they were like, no.
Which also lets you know how dumb we were, because they should not have let us know that they loved it so much they hadn't even finished reading it, because then they just like offered us some crappy amount of money and we're like, we'll take it.
Yes.
No bargaining whatsoever. Yeah.
I think we got paid $5,000.
Yes, to split.
Oh my goodness.
And I triumphantly quit my job at the sandwich shop just because I wanted to. Not because I actually thought I could live off that.
I'm making Hollywood money for a month.
I'm $1,000 there.
Hollywood big shots. And I reduced my hours at the video store and no longer worked there full time.
And
I only worked there for another 3 years.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love that story just because it's such a classic, like one of those stories where you're like, that doesn't happen, does it? And you guys are a couple of the people who benefited from that, of just kind of being a go-getter and being like, if you're interested, I've got some scripts. I happen to be working at this video rental store. Here you go.
Well,
boom, boom, boom.
And the real irony is that we're not go-getters. We were very lazy back then. It just kind of happened.
Well, then we failed to capitalize. I mean, that movie became National Lampoon's Dorm Days, but we didn't really break into the industry for another 10 years after that.
Well, I think we went to Barnes and Noble, and they used to sell books, printed out books that were on shelves that listed people in the industry, their contact info. And we invited 16 agents or something to the Dorm Days premiere. And as far as we know, none of them came. And maybe one did, but clearly walked out of the movie and made no attempt to talk to us afterwards. So we didn't have representation for 10 years.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I've been in the same boat so many times when I invite, back in the day, I would invite agents or managers to a stand-up set, and then I'd look around after the show to see where they're at. And I was
you just see their chair spinning still as they run away.
Just a person-shaped hole in the wall.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, their hat spinning and falling to their seat.
I will say though, this is a Hollywood moment. I'm not this kind of guy, but it did feel a little bit good, as I had a manager who I did invite to a show about 8 years ago that says that he regretted not working with me. And I was like, boom, there you go. That's a solid feeling right there, because I hit him up afterwards and I was like, anything? He's like, keep working, man. He was very nice. He was very, very nice. Like, keep working at it, dude. You're funny. You've got a lot of potential. But it was a very nice way of saying no freaking way, dude. This is not happening. Now I want to quickly gloss over this story that I want to hear it from your guys' point of view, because I want to tell my point of view real quick. You guys were very nice to include me on a project that you did called 12 Deadly Days of Christmas, which I was on set for. I had this little co-star role, and the way I recollect it was the guy who was kind of directing us. It wasn't the main guy, Troy. I think it was one of the PAs or something was, or I forget who it was. But he basically,
it was one of the ADs has to direct the extras, right? Yeah.
Exactly. And I was kind of lumped in with the extras because it was me. I had a few lines, and then it was a group of people coming to the door for this party. The AD gives me the direction to act like the Beatles are there. That was the direction that he gave me. So the door opens, and you know me, I play everything big, especially if somebody's like, the Beatles are there. I'm like, the Beatles are here? I'm like, yeah. I go nuts. And then basically I hear this guy basically talking bad about me from 6 feet away, being like, this guy's horrible at acting.
Did you hear that?
Yes.
Or maybe it was somebody else. I feel like I was sitting, I was talking to the writer.
Were you in Video Village with
I was in Video
Ed?
Village
was that
with the
Ed's
writer,
episode?
Ed Vicola. Yeah, and he turned to me and he was like, oh my God, this guy's going to ruin this episode. He's insane. And I had to be like, no. It's okay. This is one of my best friends. We can tell him to take it down a notch. It's all right. He will take direction. But Ed was so terrified because I think that was Ed's first TV episode his first script he'd ever gotten produced. So he was just a bundle of nerves.
Dude, it was literally, he gave me the direction and his face sunk so hard after the first take, looking at me like he looked at me like I was the biggest moron ever. And he didn't even want to talk to me after the first take. He was that shocked by what I had done on camera. I'm like, dude, you told me that the Beatles were there in front of me whenever the door opened. Because we're basically the backstory on my role is I was a super fan of an internet personality who basically invited his fans to come over to his personal home to have a party and like take videos and stuff. So they're supposed to open the door and you're supposed to see like one of your idols. So I was like, yeah. Like I'm just going.
And the real reason he was doing it was to try and trick his fans into eating the cursed fruitcake and taking the curse off of him. I'm trying to remember what your character was called. Like Annoying Kid or something, possibly.
Well,
and when it was time to cast, they were like, "Do we want to audition for this?" I was like, "No, I've got the guy."
We know just the Annoying Kid. Well, and for listeners who don't know, you were in the weird position because legally, if that's the right term, it's against union rules. Like directors can't direct extras, but usually
he wasn't an extra. He was just
that's the thing.
Was just in with the glob
when you're
of extras,
the one speaking part. Because that's usually how you do it. If you have a big group of people, you want to save money, so only one of them speaks, and then everyone else just kind of like pretends, and you add like ADR and post and stuff. But I always think it's weird then that it's like you're kind of stuck with a group of people who can't receive instructions from the same people. So usually you just get directed, by the AD rather than the actual director. So you're also getting kind of like secondhand direction.
Or the other way to do it is for the director to tell the AD what he wants the extras to do in front of the extras and loudly enough that they can all hear it. That's the
There's a lot of loopholes.
Yeah, and anytime I've been in that personal situation as the actor who maybe has a line in the group of extras, the jealousy that is fuming between that group is so visceral. Like literally between takes, they'll be like, "So man, how'd you get this?" Literally between takes, I'm like, "I'm about to do the. I'll talk to you in a second." And they're like, "Yeah, okay." Like they're like, "Oh, he's Hollywood big shotting me right now." I'm like, "No, I'm about to." And then I'm like, "All right, I know the writers," and they're like, "They figures Hollywood."
I wish I knew a writer.
Yeah, that was a very fun day. But dude, I saw Sonic in theaters. Congratulations on all the success, by the way, of that. I'm so happy and proud of you guys. Like just. Like for my people who are listening or watching, these guys have literally been working their freaking butts off for so many years. And it's just so nice to see when good things happen, the good people who put in like a ton of work like you guys did. So yeah, I was really pumped when I went and saw it with my wife in the theater when Maya and I saw it. And I was telling Pat, every parent that I've talked to who has kids or literally anybody who I've talked to, it's been overwhelmingly positive because I'm not like preemptively being like, I know somebody who worked on this. I'm just like fielding, you know what I mean? I'm just like, "Hey, what'd you think of that movie?" And they're like, "You know what? I loved it." And I'm like, "Oh, sweet." That's awesome.
It's certainly been nice to see the positive response, especially after we were such a laughing stock for so long.
That's like for years. It'll be weird moving forward if there's sequels, because now people are assuming they'll be good, where that seemed to be the place all reviews and just personal reviews were coming from like, "I can't believe that movie was good." So we definitely, I think, benefited from rock bottom expectations.
Well, every meeting we had for the last year before it came out too, it was like everyone would ask about, it's like, "So the Sonic movie, how's that? How are you holding up?" You know, that was the tone.
What's the story there?
And we'd always be like, "I feel like the movie's good, and when people see it, they're gonna like it." They'd be like, "Okay, sure. Good luck with that, you guys."
We didn't design the character.
Yeah, they're asking you about it like you guys already have coronavirus. They're like, "Are you guys gonna get through this, or what's how you guys dealing with this right now?" Were you guys freaking out a little bit when the backlash hit on that very first trailer where Sonic looked different? Because I was worried as your guys' friend when I saw the comments, because me as somebody who puts out a lot of content like on a smaller form, I know right away when people don't like something. So when I saw that first trailer drop and they're like, "I hate how Sonic looks," and it was just like thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Were you guys a little bit freaked out because you're like, this is a huge opportunity for us, and it might have something to do that's completely out of our hands as the writers. We're literally just writing the words that are going to be portrayed on screen.
Well, it was weird because even with the bad reaction, it was still like we'd never made anything that anyone cared about one way or the other that loudly. So
sure.
It was just kind of like, wow, they're making jokes about us on like the John Oliver show and Colbert and SNL and the Daily Show.
Every single TV show made fun of us that week. So it was kind of like, wow, we exist. Our movie exists.
We're in the
I wish we existed in a positive way. I mean, I didn't know it was going to be that crazy because basically I knew that fans would be annoyed based on the fact that like way before that, I think even when before it was even shooting, I remember I showed one of my friends who works for one of the creators of Everything Is Terrible, if you know that collective. But he was a huge Sonic fan, so he was always asking me questions about it. And I showed him a picture on my phone of the design, and he just immediately was like, blah. Like, why does he look like that? And I'm like, huh? Oh, uh-oh. That was your initial reaction. So, but it was weird that it got memed and kind of went viral on its own.
Yeah,
like
which
the
in a weird way.
Because people who don't care about Sonic were still cracking jokes about it. That was the weird thing. Yeah.
Which in a weird way is like positive reinforcement on the back end when you guys, because if there's that much attention thrown at it, and then whenever they issued that statement that they were going to redesign the character, like anybody who has been a troll their entire time on the internet is like, we won, yes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Did it.
We did it. We finally changed something.
Well, and that's been its own weird ride because when they first announced they were going to change it and delay it, we were mad just because it felt like we gave in to terrorists or something. Like it had that. We're like, you can't listen to the internet.
That was what was the weird line about it is like, okay, but is this setting a precedent now for other movies to take, criticism before things come out? But it ended up working out in a very positive way.
Well, and I guess Pat noted that whole year where people were like, how's it going? But you could tell that they were all hoping the movie would fail so that precedent wouldn't get set. So it was kind of like, yeah, you can't listen to the internet. I think that was why we were mad that they listened to the internet, is that we initially assumed these people wouldn't like the new design and wouldn't support the movie either way.
I sort of thought when the second trailer came out that it had such a positive response, but right before it came out, because they showed it to us and we were like, yeah, this is better, but I feel like everyone's still going to be mean to us. But then it came out and everyone was like, yay, we love it. And we were like, wow, I guess humanity came through in a way I wasn't expecting necessarily.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
so that was nice.
Yeah, I appreciated. Obviously, I follow you guys online and stuff. And Josh, I really liked when you posted about your childhood dog. That was
Ozzy.
That's Sonic's dog in the movie is based off of your freaking childhood dog, which I was like, man, squad goals. That's dope.
The other weird thing about that too was we just kind of put him in the movie in an earlier draft where the dog felt more, I don't know if relevant is the right word, but we're always surprised that the character stayed in the movie. Because if you think back what happens in the movie, Maddie, the wife character, like takes the dog with her to visit her sister in San Francisco for like no real reason. But that was just because for some reason our director, Jeff Fowler, was like, yeah, we got to keep the dog in. So like we kept kind of bending over backwards to keep the character in the movie, even when it kind of didn't serve a purpose in the story anymore.
I mean, Jeff wisely perceives that, like, getting the moments and the scenes you want is more important than things totally making sense. Because, like, ultimately, who cares? None of it makes sense.
And I haven't seen anyone call out the fact of, like, why'd she bring the dog to San Francisco?
Yeah.
For, like,
everybody likes dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, yeah,
because he's that cute.
Bring the dog. It's a beautiful, beautiful pet.
Yeah.
Did you guys have any personal firsthand experience with Jim Carrey or any of the other actors on the set while you guys were working on Sonic?
We interacted a lot with because they shot in Vancouver and we visited the set twice. So we interacted a lot with James Marsden and Adam Pally. And Jim we've talked to more since the movie's been done, just because of the way he works. He's so in the zone that you can tell everyone's just we need to give him space. Let him come to you if he wants to talk.
On set, otherwise he's very intense. But then offset, he's the world's friendliest guy. Yeah. But
James Marsden, one of those guys who takes comedy very seriously.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time with Marsden because Marsden would never go back to his trailer. He would just hang out on Video Village all day, joking around with everybody. He's just this relentless force of positive energy. I was really impressed with him, and he gives a great performance in the movie.
Jeff needed to. He had his fantasy football draft, the director, but he had to direct, so he was too busy. So James Marsden really took it upon himself to handle Jeff's fantasy football team. Pat was able to chime in on that.
I mean, James was giving me advice too. He knew the whole depth chart of every single team. I was like, man, this guy takes fantasy football very seriously, too seriously, possibly.
Yeah,
come on, man.
He's got a problem, is what we're trying to say.
1-800-BETS-OFF. Yeah, man. I really enjoyed just as somebody who grew up watching the Sonic cartoon and also just playing all the Sonic video games. There's a lot of Easter eggs that the movie put in there for anybody who's played the game. Even with the opening with some of the Knuckles creatures and stuff on that other world who Sonic is running from and stuff like that. I appreciated that a lot. And also, obviously, if you haven't seen it at the end, there's a cameo by a former, somebody who's famous in the Sonic universe. If you haven't seen the movie yet, it's digital. It's streaming places now and available on Blu-ray and all that stuff, right?
You can pre-order it on Blu-ray.
Out for a couple of more weeks. Yeah,
it comes out in May. But you can get it on VOD, iTunes, and all that.
Dope.
To own, you don't have to pay $20 just to rent it, some other movies.
Yeah, you pay $20 and then your kids can watch it 10,000 times, and it costs you no additional money for all of those viewings.
And
if you want to keep your kids out of your face during quarantine, I suggest Sonic.
And I already have some friends with kids who are playing it on repeat, so there you go.
Awesome.
Now I have there's somebody here who who wants to say hi to you guys. He came in. He's going to come over here in a second. But basically, you guys get a lot of people, who they find out that you're screenplay writers and they start pitching you stuff, right?
Yeah.
I let him in here. Maybe I shouldn't, but an out of touch CEO wants to pitch you guys a couple projects. Is that okay?
All right. Yeah. I mean, we like working.
I guess we're always open to new projects.
All right. Let me grab him real quick.
Okay.
All right.
Hello.
Good to meet you, sir.
Hey, is this you guys write that song? You guys wrote the Sonic movie, right?
Yeah, we did.
I got a sequel pitch for you.
Okay. I mean, we're kind of working on one already, but there's still time to.
I got something way better. Way better. Okay, Sonic he turns into a teenage boy. Okay, he turns into a teenage boy,
like a human.
Yeah, he's a human child.
Okay.
Blue mohawk. Okay. All right. Goes through puberty and stuff. Right. Uses the rings as hula hoops. Okay. Kids love hula hoops, and where I'm from, they love them.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We start selling Sonic hula hoop rings based on this. Okay. And then,
they're basically just regular hula hoops, right?
Yeah, they're just gold hula hoops. They're just gold hula hoops, okay? But we put Sonic on it, sell them for $1 billion, okay? Now, I don't really have the plot yet. That's what you guys do as writers, but what do you think?
You're thinking that making him a human boy makes him more relatable?
Oh, more likable, for sure. People can't relate to an animated hedgehog or a piglet or whatever that thing is.
Does he change back and forth, or does he just stay a human forever?
That's up for you guys to decide. I'm not a writer.
But it sounds like you'd really like for him going through puberty for that to be one of the focuses of the film.
Yeah, because I have a child who just went through puberty, and I think that he could relate to this.
You have a boy going through puberty now. It seems like you became a dad at sort of an advanced age.
I became a dad at 65.
Very Hollywood.
65.
All right. Yeah. Well, good for you, I guess.
Yeah, congratulations.
My semen is still as strong as the time where I was a 12-year-old boy when my balls dropped.
Okay.
Okay, I got another pitch for you. Okay.
Oh, there's more.
I got another pitch for you.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Mad Max. What about Happy Max?
Is it part of the Mad Max franchise?
Yeah.
Or is this a separate?
Yeah.
Like now he's happy?
He's happy.
Something
good happened in his life. He got some water or something. I'm not so much a writer. That's what you guys do. But what do you think?
I feel like maybe people like that he's mad and, that he's out there driving around fighting people instead of just going for like a pleasant evening drive. Is that kind of how you were seeing Happy Max go?
He gets a shower and he's happy. Because all those people are dirty. Those sand people, dirty. They're dirty. They're always wanting the water, Joe is saying like water is gold, He showers in it.
You don't think
that's the climax of the movie, maybe?
Of water?
I don't know.
People are like really need it to survive.
like I said, I'm not a writer. I'm just a CEO with billions of dollars at Paramount.
You work in the film industry. You're a CEO.
I worked in Paramount. I've worked in Fox. I've worked in HBO. I've worked in Showtime. I worked in UPN on Moesha. I've worked on WGN on Family Matters. All the big networks.
Wow. Yeah. UPN.
Yeah, UPN.
What's Moesha really like?
Yeah.
What?
Is she cool?
What's Moesha like?
Cool?
Oh, yeah. Voice of an angel. I was with her when she went through puberty on the show.
Cool. Wow.
Okay, I got 9 more.
I
got 9 more pitches real quick.
Okay.
I got 9 more. Okay, no. Oh, no. The producers of the show are saying they've been telling me get off for a while. Okay, I've got this.
I was curious. All right, last one.
No.
I was curious where the Mad Max one was going to go.
I'm not a writer. That's what.
Okay. It was just he's happy. He got a shower.
It was really just the title, and then the shower.
Maybe
a bubble bath.
If you want
with a rubber ducky.
I love this. I don't know where this is going. It seems like it could be
contact our agents. If it's an offer situation, then we definitely consider it.
Okay. All right. Okay. What about this next one? Okay. What about, bear with me, I have dementia.
Oh, well, at least you know.
What? All right. This last one. This is the gem. This is the golden crux, the golden goose. This movie hasn't been made, okay? I want you guys to do something with this. Okay. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Grown up.
Oh.
So middle-aged Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Middle-aged Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Middle-aged Mutant Ninja Turtles, senior citizen Ninja Turtles, I don't know. But people can relate to older people. People get older, turtles get older. How come they're always teenagers for all these years?
You know what? I'm going to have to be honest with you.
That's a great idea.
This is the best idea that you've had. Yeah, that's actually very good. I want to see them like
I thought you were going to say that it was about them going through puberty just based on what seems to be your oov.
No, that's a prequel. That's a prequel.
Right.
I want to see a whole movie where they're just little turtles rolling around in ooze. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, I mean, what is mutation but puberty writ large, right?
That's what I tell my wife all the time, verbatim, what you just said.
Middle-aged mutant ninja turtles. I think you've done it.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
They're dealing with their mortgages and just like vying for that big promotion at work.
See, I'm not a writer. You guys are spitting
trying
out
to get
all
to
this
middle
gold.
management.
You guys are spitting out gold right now. Okay. Oh, I've got to go. But
all right.
I'll send you my contact info.
$1 million idea.
Let's follow up on this. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, email me cliff@hbo.com.
At HBO.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're currently working there?
Yeah, I'm an EP on the show Ballers.
Wow.
No, I can sense that. Yeah. I see how that fits.
A lot of puberty humor.
A lot of puberty. Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Thank
Great
you.
Meeting you, Cliff. Thank you.
Hey guys, I just got back. Sorry that took so long. I literally was going like this, like get off the screen, and he was cemented in the seat. He was hell bent on pitching you guys movies. Did you like any of those?
Well, the first two, we were just kind of humoring him, but that third one, Middle-Aged Mutant Ninja Turtles.
You never know. You never know. Guys, thank you so much. I already went way over the time that I said this was going to be, but I was having so much fun with you guys. How dare you? But plug your social media so people can reach out to you on Twitter or Instagram. I'd love to send some people your way.
Go for it, Pat.
I'm on Twitter I'm Pat_KC, like the letters K and C. That's Twitter, Pat_KC, and then on Instagram, I'm Pat Casey Superstar. But there with my name fully spelled out. I'm bad at social media. Josh,
I'm on Instagram at Josh_S_Miller. I'll also plug, I have a podcast called Best Movies Never Made, which I do with my friend Steven Scarlatta, who made the great documentary Jodorowsky's Dune. And we just, each episode's about a different interesting movie that almost got made but did not. Pat was recently on an epic 4-part episode all about the unmade Super Mario Brothers movies leading up to the infamous Bob Hoskins one.
And you were doing some live shows before all this stuff started going down, right, Josh? You were doing some live like movie events at like some theaters and stuff like that.
Well, for 9 years, I've been doing something called Friday Night Frights here in LA, where we just show horror movies year round. Yeah, we had 2 shows coming up before Corona shut all that down for now.
Yeah.
But hopefully
it'll be back.
Yeah,
it'll be back.
Hopefully we don't all die. And movie theaters don't all burn to the ground.
I'm glad that you guys got Sonic out when you did, right before this stuff hit. So that's amazing.
We were fortunate with the timing.
Yeah,
especially since the movie got pushed back. If it had gotten pushed back any further, we would have been hosed.
I know. Rough. Well, thank you guys for joining. Love you guys. I appreciate your time. And be well and send my love to your significant others. And I will talk to you guys soon.
All right. Thank you.
Sounds good. Great to be here. Thanks for having us, Jeremiah.
Yeah. This suggestion comes from @RowdyNuggets on Twitter. CNC Music Factory, Everybody Dance Now, or anything Jock Jams related. I'm feeling Jock Jams. Let's do that. Hey, you're back.
Yeah, that
Okay.
didn't help at all.
Can you turn your phone, Doug, like this way?
Hello?
Not your head. Turn the phone.
Hello?
No, That's actually better lighting when you're that close. But can you turn the phone like to instead of portrait to landscape to long ways? All right. Very excited. We've got him back with a strong connection, a better angle. He's here with us, my pal Doug Benson. How the heck are you, Doug?
Hey, Jeremiah. I'm doing good. It's nice to see you.
Yeah, dude. It's very refreshing to see friends after we haven't made contact with other people in a while outside of our homes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
What?
But but we got this. We can do this now.
We can do this now. We can do this any time of the day. You know, anytime you want to video chat with me.
It's changed the whole world of podcasting because even once the coronavirus is defeated, we'll still probably want to just go ahead and stay home and do it this way.
I think there's definitely going to be some people who probably will just be like, oh, I've got my at-home studio. I don't go out of the house now.
Yeah. I mean, there was already headed that way with some of my friends have like such elaborate home studios, and I haven't gone that route yet.
Yeah. Meaning I'm at the studio I'm at is called Better Box. It's where I think you know Gino and all the guys over here, right? You've done like Control
Absolutely.
Chaos and yeah. So
Yeah.
that's where we've been doing Jeremiah Wonders out of lately, and it's been nice to just kind of come here and just do it, and then be able to leave because like there's not really many people coming in and out of here. So yeah.
Good for you and good for Better Box. People need this right now.
For sure. Obviously, you're a big movie buff. Doug loves movies. You love them. I kind of am interested what you're watching right now, what you'd recommend, because now more than ever, I think people are curious what your recommendations are if I haven't seen some movies or TV shows to maybe catch up on.
Yeah, and this is where I really am letting people down lately because I haven't really been watching movies much. I watched a couple of movies since this all went down. Because they're they're like a mental commitment for me. I like to watch a movie from beginning to end, unbroken, and just experience it. And now I want to check the news every hour or so. So I've been binge watching a lot of TV, more so than watching full movies.
What kind of TV are you watching?
I just finished watching season 2 of Kidding with Jim Carrey.
I just did too. I loved it.
I mean, and it's like, that's what I'd recommend to people right now, because you can just, pace yourself, stop it when you need to, and in between episodes. But it is more profound than most things I've seen, in the last few years.
Oh, anybody that likes like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind or like Punch Drunk Love and those kind of movies, it's a whole series centered around Jim Carrey, which is one of my favorite actors and comedians of all time. And it's so good, and it gets like really dark, and it gets zany, and also it's really funny at moments, and it's also really real. And you also get to see Jim Carrey really flex his acting chops again. And yeah, I love that series. It's really good.
Yeah, it's really there's a lot of fantasy elements that are really unusual and interesting.
Yeah.
And it looks like something you could watch with the kids, but do not do that.
No, it's so dark and twisted.
Yeah.
Even though there's puppets and different elements of he's like a kid show TV host. Yeah, it gets pretty twisted. But yeah, it's a good watch for sure. I just watched the movie I'd never seen Fatal Attraction with I watched that with my wife recently. I'd never seen it. Wow. So good.
Yeah, I mean, that was the thing about Michael Douglas at that time, around that time, is that every movie he was in would be something that was, kind of in the the zeitgeist, something that people just really would end up talking about. Like he had several movies in a row like that. And Fatal Attraction was like, I even remember seeing it with my girlfriend and having a pretty uncomfortable conversation after it was over, because that movie really tries to, like, at least from the male perspective, it tries to give Michael Douglas an out because Glenn Close is crazy, but it's like he still is responsible for everything that happens.
Yeah, he still cheated on his wife. He still, did all these things. And yeah, it's a little bit of an out with, I might spoil this movie for those of you who haven't seen it. I apologize. I have to tell you. So turn it on mute right now.
Yeah, mute this for the next couple of minutes.
We're going to be talking spoilers for Fatal Attraction. the movie
don't
review guys.
Don't do anything with your hands. Like, don't go like, don't murder the rabbit.
Yeah. Because the ending, like, in a way, like, so, obviously Glenn Close at the end, she goes crazy and stalkerish and ends up, trying to kill Michael Douglas, and the wife gets involved and they end up killing her together. And it's one of those things where they're like hugging at the end, like, we got through this together. But like, a female point of view of that is still like, because I talked to my wife and she's like, I cannot believe he put her through all of that. That's what her review was, like, right after. Because I was like, yeah. And she's like, no.
It's so many of those movies act like it's a happy ending just because the person that's causing all the problems dies or is killed or whatever. And it's like, but no, now they have to live with that thing that happened.
Well, that's what my wife said. She's like, that woman, for no reason, the wife of Michael Douglas, killed a woman. She has to live with the fact that she killed and shot a woman for the rest of her life now. That's and also she just got cheated on by her husband, and like the whole like mental psychosis of that. Like I want to see the sequel, like following up with the wife, like what happened with her the rest of her life.
But that's the thing. What happened with her is she's an actress that didn't work that much anymore after being a certain age. And, and Michael Douglas is still a goddamn movie star.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
It's wild stuff.
Yeah. It's a sexist game, but, hopefully we're getting better. At least Glenn Close still gets, she still seems to get pretty decent parts.
Yeah, like 101 Dalmatians, 102 Dalmatians.
Yeah. The Shield.
The Shield. She definitely plays a very good villain. Like, because I didn't know too much about Fatal Attraction going into it. I just heard about it for a long time. And then when I watched it, I was like, oh, this is why she's so, like, why she got cast in other things.
Right.
Because she proved herself so hard in that movie. Like, oh, she can really go there.
Yeah, and then you see, like, around the same time was she was in The World According to Garp, and she couldn't have been more different in that movie, but just a very commanding presence. Like she's definitely one of the greatest actors or actresses pretty much ever. Did you ever see the TV show Damages?
No,
She's like a ruthless lawyer on that show, and especially the first season of it is really good if you want to go back and look at that. That's the show that gave us, we didn't really know who Rose Byrne was until that show. She was like,
okay.
It's her and Glenn Close opposite each other in a kind of cat and mouse situation.
I love Rose Byrne. She's great. I've been watching Sopranos.
Speaking of burning.
Rose burning. Hello. Getting dug with high movies? What? Crossover? What's happening?
You were saying? What was the question?
Oh, I want to get into this segment called Fanning Out. I reached out to people.
Well, I got a segment I want to get into. Who's going to win?
Who's going to win?
I got segments.
Okay, cool. Out segmenting.
All right.
You're like, you know what, Jeremiah? No, I'm glad that you asked me on here. There's something that's been bugging me for a long time. I've been wanting to do this segment with you. So I asked some people online some questions that they wanted to ask you if they could ask Doug Benson any questions, and they reached right back to me and they said, our buddy Rick Kosick, great guy, and also cameraman from the Jackass films. He wanted to ask you, how high is too high?
I'll let him know if I ever get there.
Whoa! All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've never been to a point where you're like, maybe I smoked a little bit too much.
I've had some, an occasional mild freak out, like it's almost like a anxiety or panic attack. But
yeah.
But I've never gotten like the kind of high where I wouldn't do any of the things that they do on Jackass, no matter how high I was.
Yeah. For sure.
Know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Drunk is another deal. Which is probably why I don't drink as much as I used to, because that's just a different story.
Yeah, well, I feel like, you're more prone to definitely going down a certain path if you start drinking too much rather than like, chilling out smoking. Nobody's like been a terror while they've like knocking over stuff like while they've been high and stuff. You know what? I never loved you. This is good, dude.
Yeah, they tried to pin that. Remember that guy that ate some people's faces off because he was fucked up on something?
Wasn't that bath salts?
Yeah, they tried to pin that on weed at one point. And I was just like, what are you talking about?
There's also marijuana in his system. It's like, yeah, that was the thing that was making him freaking eat people's faces. Maybe if he saw Funyuns on their faces, that would be the reason.
Yeah, he had some sort of psychedelic and weed, so he saw things that weren't there and then tried to eat them.
Yeah, for sure. Somebody wants I think you do a good Bane, because somebody's asking on Twitter at Jeffrey D. Miller. They want to see us do Batman and Bane.
Oh, because you do Batman?
I guess. I do. I mean, I can do
Who doesn't do Batman?
I know, exactly.
Just do this.
Okay, I'll do that. So one second. So you get your Bane ready, okay?
Okay, I'll get it ready. I guess I could cover my mouth a little bit. Bane really got ahead of this whole COVID-19 thing. He's had a mask on for years.
Hey, Doug, it's Batman podcasting with you.
My name isn't Doug. My name is Bane.
Hey, is it Bane? Where is she? Where is she?
You need to settle down, Batman. No reason to get excited.
I'm sorry, man. I just don't know.
People don't like yelling. People don't want to hear you yell during a pandemic.
I'm sorry. I know that I'm very breathy. I probably need to think about that with all the COVID that's going on right now.
Did you just run up a flight of stairs?
Yes. I just beat my record in Dance Dance Revolution, Bane. Have you ever played that game?
Oh, Batman, you amuse me so. But I must smite you.
What the hell? Smite? I haven't heard that word in centuries. Since Ra's al Ghul was teaching me up in the mountains, I haven't heard the word smite.
Ra's al Ghul, nice reference.
Thank you. I've been waiting a long time to use it.
What if Batman really did stand around with his hands on his head like that? Like he's got a horrible head injury or something. He's got a really, really bad migraine.
I've got a really bad migraine right now. It's probably from all the yelling. Probably from all the hits I've been taking to the chest and the head over the years. My bat ears don't fit on in the headphones.
Wow, I love that scene. I love that scene in Dark Knight Rises where Batman's talking to Anne Hathaway, Selina, and then she vanishes, and then he goes, "So that's what that's like." To himself. He uses his Batman voice to himself.
That's a good point. I maybe just should have done my my Bruce Wayne voice, but it totally would have taken people out of it if she vanished and I was like, so that's what that's like.
Yeah, that's the thing about movies is we get to hear a lot of thoughts in people's heads because if they just thought it, then we wouldn't know what's going on.
I mean, I guess like I could like put an echo, like there would be like the inside, like, oh, I guess that's what that's like.
He just goes home and practices being Batman in his cave. Or in the shower. He works on the voice in the shower.
Yeah, how do you think he got to decide on just that grizzled voice? Because like he could have used something in his mask that's like, I'm Batman. Like the talk boy from Home Alone. It's like, listen, I'm Batman. You must fear me.
You also never get to see, you never get to see him with black makeup around his eyes and around his mouth because he has to do that too every time he puts that shit on.
I want to see that process like that, like in the getting ready, like the gloves, and then him just being like,
yeah, he's at the little theatrical mirror table with all the light bulbs, and he's just doing his makeup.
He's got a wig cap on, and Alfred comes in.
Maybe like Alfred's running lines with him, like things he's gonna, things he could say after killing somebody or something.
Okay, Master Wayne, let's take it from the top. All right.
Okay.
All right. You just hit somebody, you tie them up, and you are telling them that the cops will be on their way. What do you say? Let's rehearse this.
I'd say don't go anywhere, but it looks like you're going to be tied up for a while.
Okay, we could probably work on making that a little bit more punchy and more superhero-like, okay?
Okay.
Maybe say something that's a little bit more to the point to make them feel like they've learned a lesson. Go.
Look who's tied up like a little bitch.
Okay. Well, I mean, we're starting to get somewhere. I feel like that's pretty good.
Okay.
Okay. Let's do one more scenario. Okay. You save a dame that's in trouble. Okay. And she maybe wants a kiss from you. Okay. But there's another crime across town that you've got to get to. What do you say to her?
No thanks, lady. I've got better things to do.
Okay, that one could maybe use some work as well.
You didn't like the way I just held on that expression at the end?
Yeah, I mean, it makes it a little terrifying for the woman.
It's quite an insult to say you're busy and then just stand there. You're clearly not busy. If you could stand there just making a face.
I realize that, and that's probably why it's kind of discrediting to the woman if you do that and you just stay put exactly where you are. Do you understand how someone could find that a little terrifying?
Hey, Alfred, what's your last name again?
I wasn't given a last name, sir. It's actually Pennyworth.
What?
It's actually Pennyworth.
Pennyworth. Yeah.
Isn't it?
That's what I call your advice.
Okay. All right, Batman. Okay, fine. Keep doing your makeup. You go out there
when you go to give your 2 cents.
You know what?
Just a penny's worth.
Okay.
Penny's worth.
Okay, you know what? I'm the one who has to take care of your dinner tonight. I'm the one who has to bandage you up.
Penny's worthless is more like it.
All right, I'm the one who has to put hydrogen peroxide on all your wounds, and I don't appreciate you coming at me. like this. That was great.
I thought
Nailed
that
it.
scene needed a button, so I improvised.
You put a raspberry, which is, you know, it's a great way to end an improv scene is with a raspberry.
Is that what do you think a millennial would call a raspberry?
I don't know, a fart noise?
Mouth fart?
A mouth fart, probably?
Yeah. Because, you know, also, in addition to raspberry, they used to call it a Bronx cheer.
A Bronx cheer? I've never heard that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's probably been names for it over the ages.
Doug, what time period are you from? I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
No.
But that's why I'm amazed I was surprised to hear you say the other one.
Oh, the raspberry?
Yeah, because I just don't think people probably say that anymore.
Probably not. I have an old soul. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, also comedians tend to know older expressions because they're just funny to know and to say.
For sure. Speaking of improv, I've improvised with a lot of people over the years, a lot of different comics, and you and I doing our Uncle Joey Full House drug scene with Bob Saget on stage during Kill Tony is literally, I'm going to say it's one of my career highlights. It's one of my favorite things that I've done on stage was that moment, because everything, sometimes when improv works out magically, it's magic. You're like, how did that just happen? And it felt like one of those moments. If you haven't seen it, we might include it in this episode just because I like it so much. We might go to a clip right now. And we're back from the clip.
But you just you said, you know, a thing happened and you noticed it and you jumped in with your idea, and I just tried to stay out of the way and get through it.
Oh, dude, no, you played into it perfectly. You're being nice and discrediting what you did. It was so perfect. You said one of my favorite lines you said was it's kind of a lifestyle at this point, whenever I was trying to get you to stop smoking weed. It's just so real. I love that. Let's do one more question, then we'll round out with our the last segment. There's so many good. Do you do a Nancy Grace? A lot of people were asking about a Nancy Grace. There's like a ton of comments.
It comes up every time Todd Glass is on one of my shows, because there's a few things in my repertoire that make Todd Glass laugh uncontrollably. I mean, he's just a great audience for anybody, but he really laughs hard at I just know I can reduce him to fits of laughter with a couple of different things, and one of them is just doing an impression of that awful lady.
Well, you know what? I think Nancy Grace might be calling in to the show right now via video chat. I think she. Nancy, are you there? Hello.
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 Jeremiah.
Nancy, yes, this is Jeremiah Wonders. Yes, hello?
Are you high?
Am I high?
Have you been eating marijuana cookies?
Have I been eating marijuana cookies? The answer is no, a strong no. It's pretty early in the morning.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I had to stop doing that because, like, I realized as I started doing it that it's so much about volume, and I'm sitting here at home, you know, like it's just screaming about marijuana cookies. I don't think my neighbors enjoyed that very much, but that's the basic idea of it.
Can I just say that was my favorite part of the impression, is you just stopping going, I gotta apologize.
Listen.
Because I didn't know, as a listener and a viewer, we didn't know where it was going. And for you to just put the brakes on that hard and be like, listen, I have neighbors. I can't be doing this. All right, Jeremiah? Quit asking these things of me right now. Okay.
Yeah,
I
I just realized this whole interview has probably been aggravating to at least one of my neighbors. But what are you going to do? I keep forgetting that everybody's home because everybody's home. They're also pretty quiet about it for the most part. So like, it just gets so quiet. You feel like you're alone.
Yeah. This last thing, it's a segment that I call Sax Talk. Oh, Sax Talk. If you are willing to, I'd love for you to share a story of a sexual encounter. It doesn't matter how innocent or graphic it is, while I play saxophone underneath while you tell me a memory from your past.
Okay, I got something.
All right. Whenever you're ready, I will follow you along with this sweet, sweet sax.
It was a Monday evening, if I recall correctly, and I was doing a show. I was on stage at the world-famous Comedy Store, Sunset Boulevard. The audience loved the show. They really did. It was just another great night at the store for me. I always have a great time there. And this is how good my performance was. That night, I went home and watched my girlfriend sleep. Oh, what a night. It's just another of a million uninteresting stories in the Naked City. I thought there was going to be a lot more saxophone. Like in the beginning, I was waiting for saxophone to happen, and it took a little while. But I think we got there.
I think we found our groove. You're the first person for me to do Sax Talk with remotely, so I appreciate you. Let me do it. I usually do it with someone, when they're in the studio, and I can kind of, with the delay, it's a little difficult to catch when the person's going to talk next. But yeah, we figured it out.
Yeah, I thought you were going to do more of a bed and just play continuously, and I just sort of talked, over it. I didn't know we'd go back and forth.
Oh, gotcha.
You know what I mean? I thought it'd just be more like an underlay the whole time.
Like a scoring.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, dude, I love you, buddy. Thank you so much for hopping on this call. And
thank you for asking me to do it. I would love to have you on a remote Doug Loves Movies sometime soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, I know you're busy doing this, but
I got time on my hands. Yeah, I got time for sure.
All right, play us out.
All right, let's do it. What I will say, you hold the title for most guest appearances on Kill Tony, and what some people don't know, it has to be. It has to be.
I heard Tony say I was up there, but maybe not number one. But I want to be number one.
You hold the title for the most on the road easily. On the road easily, you're number one. Yeah. That's because you've joined us in a lot of different cities, which is really cool because that's what's fun about doing comedy together outside of LA is like you get to hang and you get to like we went and shot pool and went to a bar after one of the shows. And then like the green room hangs like before in different cities. It just feels like a little heightened and a little bit better than just doing it like at the same spot all the time. So we appreciate you and all our friendship on the show and wishing you the best right now, buddy.
Thanks, Jeremiah.
Talk to you
soon.
Do
you play music at the end? Is that how you end it with music?
I will for you. And then just sign off whenever you want. I'll just keep playing.
All right.
All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Jeremiah Wonders. Follow me on social media at Jeremiah Standup. Subscribe on YouTube if you have not done so yet. I'm at Jeremiah-Watkins on Venmo. People are calling me the Venmo King now. I don't know where this is coming from. Leave a comment below and hit up Doug Benson on Instagram, as well as Pat Casey and Josh Miller. We'll put their handles in the description below. Hit them up. Tell them that you liked hearing them on the show. I always love when people reach out positively to the guests. I hope you're doing well in these crazy times. I love you, and stay well.